It's Canada Day and we're making our national dish, Poutine or Poutine, however you want to say it. But in case you've tried to make it at home and you ended up with fries that are soggy, gravy that is watery, and cheese that is cold and rubbery, then it's not your fault. It's the recipe that you were handed. So let's fix all three of those mistakes. My favorite ones are in the food trucks on the streets of Ottawa, and that's my inspiration. Mistake number one, soggy fries. And it's a big one. See, there will be recipes out there that tell you to cook the fries once. A one cook does not guarantee that your fries will hold the perfect crisp. A poutine is the perfect test of a good fry because they have to stay crisp as you pour the piping hot gravy over it. So the fries have to be cooked properly, and a two-step cook works the best. First cook to cook the potato, and the second one to make it crispy. I'm using russet potatoes. You can make these fries, by the way, in the air fryer or in the oven. I have recipes for both. Of course, you can always deep fry, but first you want to soak the potatoes to get the excess starch out. About 25 to 30 minutes at the minimum. That's gonna avoid the fries from turning gummy. First, you want to parboil the potatoes for about 3 to 5 minutes or until they're barely tender. They'll hold their shape, they'll be flexible like this, but not fully cooked. Then you want to drain them, pat them dry really well, coat them in oil as your oven or your air fryer preheats. For the air fryer, you can go anywhere between 400 to 450. I prefer to be around the 425 mark. For the oven, go at 475. We just have to crispen them now so the heat can't be high. That parboil step and then blasting it with the heat is the whole secret to a fry with the glassy, crunchy shell and a soft, fluffy inside. And every bone in your body would want to season your fries when they're done. Don't do it, except if you're not using it in the poutine, because the seasoning will be handled by the gravy. Let's talk about that. Mistake two, the gravy. So here are the rules that fixes your gravy for a poutine. It has to be deep brown and rich, and it has to be thick enough to coat the back of a spoon. The test here is if you run your finger against the back of the spoon, it should not start dripping to fill in that gap. And in terms of what to do to make the gravy, what you don't want to do is make it 100% with just beef broth. My first recipe was that, and this one is gonna fix it. Because what you want is a mix of chicken broth and beef broth, and then for some umami, you want a combination of soy sauce and Worcestershire sauce. The gravy generally is the make or break of a poutine. There's going to be a full video if you want just a gravy recipe to use in other things like with chicken, with your potatoes, and of course with poutine. But we'll cover it first in this poutine video before that standalone one. So keep a lookout for that. For the gravy, first you want to create a roux made of butter and flour, equal parts. You want to stir and cook that until the raw smell of the flour cooks away. Then I have some bouillon paste for the beef part of the gravy. Just gonna dilute that and add that right in that saucepan. Start mixing it, and as it thickens, I slowly incorporate in the chicken broth. It's gonna look very pale right now, and that's okay. It's gonna get deeper in color as it cooks down and as we add the other ingredients. You wanna then add your spices. So hold off on the salt for now. Add pepper, add garlic powder, onion powder, a couple drops of Worcester sauce, and then a bit of soy sauce, and then just bring this up to a simmer. You wanna cook this down until it's reduced by about half. And really avoid salting it right now, because not only does the broth and the bouillon paste have salt in it, as it reduces and thickens, that saltiness is going to intensify. So if you over season now, you'll suffer later. You can see the gravy has also become a nice brown color, and it's not the final texture yet. It has to get thicker, and when it has reduced enough and the flavor is on point, you want to make your cornstarch slurry, add that in here, and now that final gravy thick texture is right there. And let's do that finger test as well. Now mistake three, the cheese. So you can't just use any cheese. Traditionally, you want to use cheese curds. The most popular brand that sells that, at least in Canada, is St. Albert's. What you don't want to reach for is shredded cheese. The difference between shredded cheese and the cheese curds is that the curds are squeaky. They actually squeak as you eat them, and they're not supposed to fully melt and have those crazy cheese balls. That's the wrong dish. And if the poutine you're having has that, then well, it's still gonna be good. That's just not the Quebecois way to make it. But don't stress. If you cannot find cheese curds, the proper kind, then you can use low moisture mozzarella, cube that up and use it instead. It'll still be a beautiful dish. The second mistake with the cheese is using it straight up from the fridge, ice cold. You have to let that chill come off so that when the gravy is poured on, it softens right away and it gives you that proper texture with maybe a subtle melt. The point is not to melt them, the point is to warm them through. The soft and squeaky bite is the poutine magic. Now while assembling, something that you have to keep in mind is that everything should be nice and piping hot. The gravy, the fries, and the cheese curds are at room temperature. And then you want to make sure everything is compact. The thing is, if you assemble the poutine and layer the cheese curds, the fries, the gravy in at least 2 layers, and you put it on a plate that's too wide, it's not gonna help the cheese to soften in that hot gravy. Instead, that heat will rush away right away. Instead, what you want is a nice bowl as narrow as you can, as tall as it can be, and then pack the fries, the cheese curds and gravy in layers, as many layers as you can for the serving size, so that everything can be compact. Let it sit for a minute or 2 and then serve. And now you can make poutine at home on Canada Day whenever you want. That's better than what you get in food trucks. More importantly, you know what's in it. You have no idea what the tasty trucks that I actually cannot stop going to puts in their gravy. So maybe you can have way more of this than you would of that. Happy Canada Day. This is a big one, and I'll see you on the next one.